Good afternoon, everybody, and welcome to Live at 4. Eric Franke is with us once again while Mark continues his vacation.
My last day this week.
Oh, that's
I'm
right,
off
you're
tomorrow,
off tomorrow, lucky duck.
But we have a huge show today. We got a lot to get to.
We do. We're actually in Studio C this afternoon with our friends, our volunteers here who are helping us raise money for our Hunger for Heroes campaign. Welcome, everybody.
Of course, we've talked about this week. The summer can be a very difficult time for kids who rely on school meals for food. And to make sure that no child goes hungry this summer season, News 3 and the Goodman Community Center are teaming up for Hunger Heroes. The number we want you to call, 274-4000.
That's right. You don't think about this in the summertime, but a lot of families really struggle when school is not in session. We're going to have a lot more about our Hunger Heroes campaign coming up. But as Eric said, if you would like to call in and donate, these very nice people would love to talk to you. The number is 274-4000, and we'll be back here in Studio C throughout the show. But here is what else is making news on this very busy Thursday. The president helps break ground for the new Foxconn facility, an event that prompted protests today. We'll have 2 reports.
We'll also have an update on an active shooter situation. 4 people are dead in a newspaper building in Maryland. We will have the very latest. We know others have been seriously wounded as well.
And the First Lady makes another visit to immigration facilities along the U.S.-Mexico border. Let's take a look outside today. Here comes the heat.
Yeah, it's going to be hot this weekend. The lake might be the place to gather this weekend if you want to go outside at all, because it is a heat wave coming our way. It's going to feel like in excess of triple digits as we head into this weekend stretch.
That is a beautiful shot. The strawberry moon. It's a full moon right now. Just beautiful. Karin is out on the weather patio. Hi, Karin.
Hi there. Yeah, it is already hot out here, and it's going to get even hotter over the next couple of days. We've got some high temperatures, high dew points, and therefore high heat index values coming up over the next couple of days. And with that, we have alert days in the forecast for tomorrow, Saturday, and Sunday. Tomorrow and Saturday, it's for that high heat. We're looking at heat index values in the triple digits at times. On Sunday, those heat index values will be slightly lower. However, we are expecting a chance of some strong, if not severe, thunderstorms for your Sunday. Here are the latest heat bulletins across the southern part of the state. We have an excessive heat warning off into southwest Wisconsin. That starts up at noon tomorrow and continues until 7 p.m. After that, the heat advisory takes over. The rest of us seeing a heat advisory for that entire stretch of time from noon tomorrow all the way through 7 p.m. on Saturday. So it's going to be a scorching hot couple of days. You'll definitely want to figure out ways to try and keep yourself cool. Already those temperatures are well into the 80s, 85 degrees here in Madison, but it is feeling warmer than that. Feels like 88 in Madison, feeling like 90 in Lone Rock, as well as in Boscobel, feeling like 87 over toward Platteville. There's the view in Madison. We are seeing some clouds, but still some sunshine out here as well. Our forecast first shows temperatures falling from the 80s down through the 70s tonight. Not too much relief overnight. In fact, those lows will only bottom out down in the lower 70s, so staying very mild and muggy through the night. Here's your live view from our Department of Transportation camera at Todd Drive and the Beltline, and we are starting to get into some slowing on the Beltline. Also, a couple of accidents to let you know about. One is on 14 westbound near Evansville. That road has been closed down because of a crash in that direction. It's closed between Tullis Road and Territorial Road. Also up toward Wanakee on 19, there is an accident at Hogan Road, and that is tying things up in that area. We are seeing the main slowdowns on the Beltline at this hour in the eastbound direction, generally from Verona Road over to the east, just past the John Nolan Drive exit to about Fish Hatch, or to about Southtown Drive, rather. Here are some of your eastbound times and speeds. Verona Road to John Nolan Drive, you're only traveling about 26 miles per hour right now. And heading out of town is looking better. Heading down to Janesville, the speed is about 63 miles per hour. Getting out to Sun Prairie will take close to 14 minutes.
All right, for those that don't know, that is Karin's final first alert forecast for us. We'll be talking a little bit more about your final day with us.
Don't make Karin and I start crying
I know,
yet.
I've been such a mush all afternoon already, so.
That's okay, but we're gonna share some special moments a little bit later in this show. Karin, thank you very much.
Thanks, Karin.
Well, next at 4, 5 people now are dead in that shooting that happened out in Annapolis, Maryland.
It happened in a building that houses the Capital Gazette newspaper. A suspect is in custody. Several other people are believed to have been injured. The shooting prompted a massive police response, with employees evacuated from the building with hands raised above their heads. A Gazette reporter tweeted the gunman shot through the glass door of the office and opened fire on multiple employees. He said he hid under his desk and employees heard the gunman reload. The Gazette is a local newspaper that is owned by the Baltimore Sun.
Also, a developing story right now out of Jefferson and Waukesha counties. Aerial video showing a heavy police presence with several agencies responding. It appears a van went off the road, crashed into a fence. This is on a rural road near a dump site. We don't know yet if there were any injuries involved here, but we are working to gather more details. We have a crew heading there, and we'll have the latest tonight on News 3 at 5 and 6.
Construction is officially underway on what is expected to be a 20 million square foot campus for tech company Foxconn.
And President Trump back in Washington now after attending the groundbreaking today. News 3's Jessica Arp live in Mount Pleasant at Foxconn's first building. Jess?
Well, yeah, where we are right now is called the Opus building. This is technically the first facility on Foxconn's campus. You can see over here that they actually have an assembly line. We understand this is a training area for Foxconn employees. This building right now, kind of a showcase for what they want Foxconn to be in Wisconsin. You can take a look at this. This is what they want the campus to be in its entirety over a period of years, building it out here. And this is what they hope for in Wisconsin. President Donald Trump ceremonially breaking ground this afternoon with Governor Walker and Foxconn Chairman Terry Go, then touring this facility called an Experimental and Training Center. Foxconn had initially said they intended to build large LCD screens, but now will also make screens for and assemble Apple iPhones.
18 months ago, this was a field, and now it's one of the most advanced places of any kind you'll see anywhere in the world. It's incredible.
But Foxconn obviously not the only thing on the minds of the folks in this part of the state, especially when it comes to foreign investment and trade. President Trump has been coming after motorcycle maker Harley Davidson on Twitter this week after they announced they may move some production overseas because of tariff issues. Trump told Harley in his speech today, quote, to not get cute, and said that they needed to make their motorcycles in the USA or customers would be upset. Now, he said both ag industries and others in the state would be okay, he said, because of the work they were doing on trade negotiations. And we will have, of course, much more from the speech and from this opening today coming up tonight on News 3 at 5 and 6.
All right, busy day for Jess live in Mount Pleasant, where Foxconn is breaking ground today. Jess, thank you.
Thank you, Jessica. With President Trump in Milwaukee and Mount Pleasant today, many took it as an opportunity to voice their frustration with his policies.
And some also rallied against the Foxconn plan. Amanda Quintana in the News Center with more on the protests that have been happening all day. Amanda?
Yes, well, that first protest, a Keep Families Together immigration rally, started at 8 o'clock this morning. The group Voces de la Frontera led the protest through the streets after blocking the I-794 off-ramp during the morning commute. There are about 40 other groups protesting the separation of immigrant families, representing students, civil rights advocates, environmentalists, and teachers. And a crowd also gathered to rally for unions.
If Foxconn can take $4 billion from taxpayers of Wisconsin to operate in our state, then they can sit down with us as workers, as equals in a union, and negotiate for decent standards.
The group spoke about the need for a decent wage of $15 for everyone in the state and the problem that workers have no ability to bargain in the labor market, calling it a, quote, Walker-Trump rigged economy. A big crowd also protested the building of the Foxconn plant. Environmental and labor activists say the estimated $4.5 billion from taxpayers is too much, and they're also upset that it would take millions of gallons of water from Lake Michigan every day.
Amanda Quintana in the newsroom. Thanks, Amanda.
Well, President Trump and Russian President Vladimir Putin have met before on the sidelines of larger gatherings, but now they're announcing their own summit. That is set for next month. President Trump and President Putin will meet in Helsinki, Finland, July 16th. National Security Advisor John Bolton finalized plans for the summit when he met with President Putin in Moscow earlier this week.
It's important for these two leaders of these two critically important countries to get together and discuss their mutual problems and areas of cooperation.
And while President Trump says he's been tougher on Russia than any other president, He has pushed for Russia to be brought back into the G7 group. Russia was expelled after invading Crimea. This morning, the president tweeted, quote, Russia continues to say they had nothing to do with meddling in our elections.
First Lady Melania Trump is making her second solo trip to the U.S.-Mexico border to visit immigration facilities. She visited children and federal authorities in Texas last week. And today, the First Lady is in Tucson, Arizona. She said she's eager to see what's changed since her last visit and said she continues to discuss the border situation with the president.
I know how dangerous and difficult your daily jobs are, so I really appreciate all you do in the behalf of the country. And I'm looking forward for our discussion and to tour the facility. And I'm here to support you and give my help, whatever I can, for behalf of children and the families.
While in Tucson, the First Lady is touring a U.S. Customs and Border Protection facility. The trip to Tucson was planned last week after the First Lady's trip to Texas was cut short due to flooding.
Just ahead, Emmy Fink is here with what's happening this weekend in the 608.
And some big news regarding the future of the CrossFit Games in Madison. We'll have that when Live at 4 continues.
Well, for kids who rely on school for meals throughout the year, the summer, as we mentioned earlier, it can be an especially tough time.
Yeah, something a lot of people take for granted. To make sure that no child goes hungry, News 3 is teaming up with the Goodman Community Center to collect donations for our Hunger Heroes campaign. This is a live picture of our volunteers in the phone bank in Studio C who are taking your calls for donations. The number to call is 274-4000. 274-4000. And thanks to everyone who has helped us so far. Our Keely Arthur is live at the Goodman Community Center this afternoon to share how donations are coming there. Keely?
That is correct. We're inside the food pantry right now. Now, the goal of Hunger Heroes is to raise enough food and money to get 12,000 meals into the hands of families in our community, including immigrant families. I have here with me Fabiola Hamden. She's on the board here at Goodman Center and works with the Dane County to deal with immigration. Fabiola, why is it so important to make this a comfortable experience for immigrant families?
Hola, buenas tardes. Thank you for the opportunity. I think it is very important for all of us to provide this type of services. We know that the immigrant community right now is suffering a lot because of all the climate of negativeness in our country. I think we should not allow families, especially children, to go hungry. I think Goodman Community Center is a safe place to come. I feel that people already know the center, and then sometimes asking for food creates a stigma. And having a center like this one, where not only the food pantry is open to everybody, but they have many different programs, it is just an addition for our families to come and really get some food.
Excellent. Thank you so much for being here. And if you want to help the families that we just discussed, you can donate food. You can come here to the Goodman Community Center over on the east side, or you can donate food at Festival Foods or Hy-Vee on East Washington. You can also call that phone bank at 608-274-4000. Plenty of ways to help out those very important kids and families in our community. Back to you.
Yeah, there are a lot of ways to help out, unless we mentioned 274-4000. We've got folks standing by. Keely's live at the Goodman Center. Keely, thank you so much. And next at 4, more than 500 elite athletes from all over the world are just a month away now from descending on Madison for the 2018 Reebok CrossFit Games. And today, some big news. CrossFit announcing it has extended its contract here in Madison through the year 2021. Local leaders say the inaugural CrossFit event last year generated $12 million in local spending. It brought in more than 70,000 people to town. Now, the CrossFit Games, if you're not familiar, it's described as a display of strength, stamina, and mental toughness as athletes compete for the title of fittest on earth.
We really feel like the community, all the restaurants, the week we get here, the week last year, the week before when we got here, all the restaurants had the menus and everyone's so welcoming, and it feels like not only you guys, but the citizens of Madison really care and they want us here.
This year's event will take place August 1st through 5th at the Alliant Energy Center. Tickets, by the way, went on sale just last week.
That is exciting news. On Wall Street, all 3 markets rose after a rally in financial and tech stocks. The Dow up 98.5, the NASDAQ climbed 59, and the S&P 500 added almost 17.
All right, it's going to be a hot one, but it's almost the weekend here in the 608.
Emmy Fink is here with a look at what's going on around town this weekend. Hi, Emmy.
Hi, Emmy.
Great to see you guys again.
We're going to start with a cool theater.
Yeah, cool theater. Go in, take a little break from the heat for sure. It's a little bit of a twisted option, and it's called the Contest of Wills, and it's in the middle of its run at Broome Street Theater. So it plays this weekend and next. It's kind of a dark comedy, so it's all about a wealthy, dysfunctional family and their story of greed, lust, and murder. Sounds pretty intriguing, right? The shows run Thursday through Saturday, both weekends. A little dark, but you know, if a little dark is your thing, then get to that one.
And this next one is really the first of its kind, right?
It is. It's the very first inaugural year, and it's the Loon Art Festival. It takes place at various locations throughout Madison. It promotes women artists and really, truly putting them in the spotlight. So you can take lectures by guest speakers. There's workshops, master classes, art exhibits, and live performances. It actually opens up tonight at the Madison Museum of Contemporary Art with a lecture by musicologist Andrea Fowler, and then there's a gala concert there, and then one next door at Overture as well. That's all tonight, and a complete schedule of events is at the Luna Art Festival. There's so many to choose from, but we welcome all them, and we hope it's a great inaugural year for them.
Yeah, it looks really cool.
Sure does.
So the 4th of July is the middle of the week next week. So this is the weekend to celebrate the holiday, right?
Well, I feel like with Shake the Lake last week, and then just being in the middle, like you said, you just pick whatever weekend you want to celebrate. But this weekend, Saturday from 2 until 9 is the 4th annual Fourth Fest at the Edgewater Hotel. So expect live music, carnival games, all the summer food you want to take in, and that beautiful scenery right on Lake Mendota waterfront. The Mad City Ski Team will put on a show, and then the People Brothers Band, which actually just released their 3rd album earlier this year, will headline that event. Such a great spot if you're gonna go down and enjoy the water.
And next, we're calling all engineers, even the wannabe engineers out there.
Isn't that true that if you were an engineer, you probably played with Legos as a kid?
That's where it all starts.
It just makes sense. I'm going to reintroduce my daughter more to Legos. And go be an engineer, girl. Well, old and young Legos lovers will converge Saturday and Sunday at Monona Terrace. It's the Brick Universe Convention. There'll be spaceships, castles, entire cities, and other massive Lego displays going on. And award members of the Wisconsin Lego Users Group will be on hand with their creations. They can explain how they did it all. Not to worry, there'll be setups where you can actually go and set up Legos yourself, which sounds like a lot of fun. And there'll be some merchandise for purchase. And just make note of this, the convention is only from 10 until 1 on Saturday.
Okay.
Saturday and Sunday. So a
I'm
little bit of a
always
shortened
in
festival.
awe of those Lego builders.
It's unreal
Isn't it
what they can
amazing
do.
the things they can do?
You know, when you open up the Legos, my daughter has one, and there's like the sheet of like, oh, you could make this. I'm always like, please, never. That'll never happen.
Now, we do have some options, some great options for music this weekend, too,
We
right?
do. So one of Madison's favorite folk bands, the Mascot Theory, they play a free summer patio series tonight, actually, at High Noon Saloon, and that goes on from 6 until 8. And while you're there, or even if you can't make it, you can actually still help the band's Kickstarter campaign to pay for the recording of their 5th studio album. It's called Dawn and What Comes After. You'll actually get a copy of that CD if you make a donation. And then on the opposite end of the weekend, on Sunday, the Knuckle Down Saloon offers an entire day of blues music for your Sunday Fun Day, their annual Red, White, and Blues Festival. 5 Wisconsin-based blues bands, the Cashbox Kings, the Jimmies, the Reverend Raven, and the Chain Smokin' Altar Boys, and the Madtown Blues Collective. They'll all be playing until 9 o'clock. And the Knuckle Down Saloon's just right off Stoughton Road at the corner of Stoughton and Flom. So, and maybe the best for last.
Oh, yeah,
Who wants to see Willy Wonka at
Verona
the
High
Verona
School.
Area Community
That's
Theater?
right. It'll be at the high school. My kid's in it, so shameless plug. You get to do that when you're
Well,
on
let's
the
give it. I don't know his name.
7:30 tonight. Hunter.
What's his name?
Yeah,
Hunter.
he's got a small
Hunter,
role in it. But
good luck.
It's a great show. I saw it last week 3 times. Verona High School, Willy Wonka.
Eric could do it.
Proud dad.
Yes.
Thanks,
We
Emmy.
want to
Have a
remind you,
great weekend.
good to see you, Emmy, and get this month's Madison Magazine for all the best of the Madison area. And coming up, the baby is crying and the parents don't know why.
Well, we have an app for that. A look at Chatter Baby. That's coming up right after Karin's forecast.
All right, take a look at this. A hot air balloon pilot pulls off an incredible maneuver. It's called a splash and dash. Michael and his friend Gareth are in Las Vegas for the World Series of Poker tournament. When they decided to go for this hot air balloon ride, their pilot Jonathan tells them about the splash and dash challenge, slowly descending toward a golf course pond to see if they can pull it off. Incredibly, he skims the basket along the water and then soars back into the sky. There they go.
I know somebody who would do something like that. Our resident adrenaline junkie over there on the other couch.
I like to try new things. You know, if you try something once, that makes it exciting. And then you can decide if you like it or not.
Yeah, she's done a lot of crazy. Jumped out of airplanes too, right?
I have,
She's done that. It is June 28th. It's National Insurance Awareness Day, a day that was created as a day to review your insurance coverage. That sounds exciting.
Couldn't be Cheesecake Day or something. You haven't
How did I get stuck with Insurance Coverage Day?
You haven't had a problem.
My insurance agent gonna walk in now or what? Mark gets cupcakes and ice cream.
Yeah,
and
I know.
I don't need that anyway. All right, last Thursday of each June, people across the nation observe National Handshake Day as well. For all the various forms of greeting, as our floor crew, they just shook hands. Perhaps the most ancient theories suggest it was a way for medieval knights, Roman soldiers, and other weapon-carrying men to check for hidden dangers by grasping each other. Dangers too. I saw it, but I just went right ahead with it. Daggers are dangerous. They would check for daggers when they grabbed each other's forearms in greeting.
I'm not going to shake either of your hands in fear that you might have a dagger.
These are lame. It's also National Alaska Day. I mean, what does that do for me?
My parents are in Alaska right now.
Oh, how lucky.
Yes.
Susan, you gonna read any of this?
Yes, it is the largest state to join the Union. Not only is Alaska the largest state, it is also home to the highest mountain peaks in the country, including, of course, Denali National Park.
That's a beautiful country out there.
Parents are on a big trip there right now. They went there for their honeymoon and just decided to recreate that and go up there for a few months this summer and follow their old journals and stuff.
Beautiful, beautiful part of the world.
Yeah.
All right, not gonna feel like Alaska around here.
No, it really isn't. We've got some heat and humidity heading our way. We've got some advisories and warnings in effect across southern Wisconsin. We'll talk more about the high heat ahead coming up next. Some heat and humidity are heading in our direction, and with that we do have a lot of heat bulletins that'll go into effect tomorrow afternoon through the day on Saturday. These are excessive heat warnings in southwest Wisconsin, which will eventually transition into a heat advisory then for tomorrow night and into Saturday. The rest of us seeing that heat advisory for south central and southeast Wisconsin in effect from tomorrow afternoon through the day on Saturday. Just down to our southeast is where there is an excessive heat watch in effect. And you can see across the region, a lot of us are going to be contending with those high heat index values close to or above 100 degrees at times over the next couple of days. So definitely something to prepare for. High temperatures so far today have made their way well into the 80s. We've been at 85 degrees here in Madison, and those temperatures all across the southern part of the state have been equally warm. 87 over toward Boscobel, 84 degrees this afternoon in Platteville. Here's our Doppler track looking pretty quiet right now. There are some storms on the map off to our northwest, also down to our southwest. Eventually later tonight, as a warm front passes us by, we may get into some shower and thunderstorm chances late tonight and into the very early part of tomorrow. And the Storm Prediction Center just gets that marginal risk of seeing a stronger storm into areas from about Madison off to the north and to the northwest. But the better chances of seeing those stronger thunderstorms will be well off to our north and northwest. Tomorrow, that front is going to be set up to our north, so seeing that severe weather threat up in that direction. Saturday, it nudges closer. I think if we have anything stronger, it would be Saturday night, and then Sunday also looking at a chance of some stronger storms as that front gradually makes its way back across the southern part of Wisconsin. But look at these high temperatures over the next couple of days, well into the 90s, and even with the cool down, those temperatures stay very warm, if not hot, as we head into the next week. Temperatures today 85 and 60 degrees. Normals for today are 81 and 60. Right now in Madison, it's 85. Winds are out of the south at 7 miles per hour. Those temperatures elsewhere well into the 80s. 84 right now in Janesville, 82 degrees up toward Juneau. Dew points are very high. It's feeling tropical outside. Those dew points are well into the 60s and into the low 70s. So that puts those heat index values, those feels like temperatures, into the upper 80s to near 90 degrees, feeling like 90 in Lone Rock as well as in Mineral Point. Here's what those heat index values look like by later tomorrow afternoon, into the hundreds across much of southern Wisconsin. So a good idea to find some shade, take those extra precautions if you can. Bring along the water bottle so you can stay safe and also help keep your animals safe as well. And then by Saturday, some still high heat index values into the hundreds, perhaps a nudge, a couple of degrees feeling cooler, but still when it gets above 100 degrees, it really doesn't matter. It just feels very hot. Our temperatures right now across the region as warm as 104 degrees, I should say, off into Kansas. And here's that warm front I was mentioning that's going to be passing us by, bringing in that heat and humidity across the state, and that's going to be in place as we head through the next couple of days. Eventually, this cold front moves slowly down to the south and southeast. That brings us some better chances of seeing a shower or a thunderstorm from Saturday night into the day on Sunday. Tonight, 72 degrees, very mild, muggy. Thunderstorms are possible late tonight. Those come to an end early tomorrow, and then it's off to the races with those temperatures. 96 degrees tomorrow. Here's what it'll feel like tomorrow afternoon, 100 to 107 degrees. Here's your future track forecast. The warm front passes us by tonight with a chance of some showers and thunderstorms. That wraps up into early tomorrow morning, and then look at those temperatures tomorrow afternoon. It's going to be a hot and humid afternoon all across the southern part of the state, and we'll see some equally warm temperatures on Saturday. 94 degrees with, again, those heat index values into the hundreds. We drop down just a notch on Sunday with those showers and thunderstorms possible. A few of those could become strong or severe. Behind that, we do have some sunshine in the forecast Monday, a couple of slight chances of seeing a shower or a thunderstorm Tuesday, as well as for the 4th of July. Thursday as well. Heat and humidity, if you've got parades that you're heading out to for the holiday, you'll want to be aware of that, and then some better chances of seeing a shower or a thunderstorm arrive later next week.
Did your voice just crack?
It did. My voice is changing.
But that wasn't emotion, right?
When it's time to change, right?
Well, you know, we have
Brady Bunch episode?
Great Lakes here too to deal with all the heat. So get out on the water. They have Great Lakes here, so enjoy those lakes, right, Karin?
I'll be talking about the lakes a lot. Yeah, we've got a lot of blue-green algae out there right now.
I wasn't going to bring that up, but
as
I
of
thought that might hit a
week,
nerve.
that will be my job. I'll be telling
don't
you
go too
all
far
about
away.
that.
Don't go too far away. We're gonna
go down memory lane here in a little bit.
Stand by for that, folks. A new app could help parents interpret why their baby is upset based on how they cry.
The free app Chatter Baby was released last month. It analyzes the acoustic features of a baby's cry to help parents understand whether their child might be hungry, fussy, or in pain. Jamie Yukas spoke with a family that tried it.
Like many new parents, Fatima Bell is often trying to figure out why her 5-month-old son, Jonathan Jr., is crying.
It's scary. You're responsible for someone's life.
She says the Chatter Baby app helps her and her husband, Jonathan, identify what's bothering their son more quickly. They record his cries for 5 seconds, and the app tells them the likelihood that he's fussy, hungry, or in pain.
For me, it just goes down a mental checklist of, what do I need to do?
The app was developed by UCLA statistician Ariana Anderson, a mother of 4. She originally designed the technology to help deaf parents like the Wetters better understand why their baby was upset, but soon realized it could be a helpful tool for all new parents. To build a database, Anderson and her team uploaded 2,000 audio samples of infant cries.
Don't you get really sad watching this stuff or listening to it?
Yeah.
And to create a baseline for the other 2 categories, a panel of moms had to unanimously agree on whether the cry was either hungry or fussy.
We're taking a 5-second audio sample. We look at over 6,000 different acoustic features, and we try to see which features are associated with each state using artificial intelligence.
I think that all of the apps and technology that new parents are using now can be helpful, but need to be taken with a grain of salt.
Pediatrician Eric Ball points out evaluating cries can never be an exact science.
I do worry that some parents will get bogged down in big data and turn their parenting into basically a spreadsheet, which I think will take away from the love and caring and support that parents are supposed to be providing for their children.
We're trying to make it in a way that parents have to interpret the results, not that we give them a yes or no answer.
Do you worry that you might get too dependent on the phone to tell you what's going on with him?
We're only getting better by way of technology, but I wouldn't rely on it 100%, but I would utilize it.
Jamie Yukas, CBS News, Los Angeles.
All right, you buying it?
I don't know. I think moms know it instinctively a little bit, too.
Sometimes even the dads.
Sometimes.
Coming up, we'll head back to the Goodman Center to find out how donations for our Hunger Heroes program. Stay with us.
But first, a reminder, our phone bank is open right now. The volunteers are here, and they're waiting to take your call. The number is 274-4000. 4,000, not 400. 274-4000. We'll be right back.
live look from the Edgewater Tower cam there, looking at the waterfront, which I think that's going to be pretty busy this weekend with all the heat going on.
Yeah.
Boy, but be careful because it's going to be real warm out there. We want to remind you, give our phone bankers a call. We're helping those kids that need some meals over the summer months. 274-4000 is the number to call.
We'll be right back.
All right, we're teaming up with the Goodman Community Center to keep kids fed over these summer months.
Through our Hunger Heroes campaign, we're hoping to provide 12,000 meals to local families with your help. And thanks to everybody who has helped us out so far. Let's go back to Keely Arthur at the Goodman Community Center with an update. Hi, Keely.
Hi there. We've gotten so many donations here at the Goodman Community Center, and plus we have that amazing phone bank happening as well. I have here with me Pete Vogel of Vogel Brothers Building Company. And Pete, you guys are going to match everything up to $3,000, all those phone bank donations. Why do something like that?
Well, we want to be hunger heroes over at Vogel Brothers, and as the summer months are here, it's a time where families have trouble with food security, and we want to make sure that we're taking care of the families in the community and the neighborhood here at the Goodman Community Center.
Why stay so local in the Madison area?
You know, we're a Madison business and have been for near 90 years now and always been here on the east side. So we want to be making an impact right here in the neighborhood where we've grown up and our families and our businesses have grown up. And we have a strong connection with the people here on the east side.
And during the break, we had talked a little bit about how people are really charitable in the December kind of time, but summer is the time when people are off doing their own thing, not really thinking about donations.
And it's also a time when a lot of kids don't have access to some of the food that they are able to get through the school system with breakfast and lunch. So it's, again, a time of need, and it's also a time that's sometimes forgotten in terms of the needs of the community.
Well, we're not going to forget about it now. Thank you so much, Pete. And again, if you want to donate to the food bank, you can go call 608-274-4000 or come here or donate at Festival Foods or Hy-Vee on East Washington. We're going to be collecting those donations through Saturday, and you can call the food bank, or the phone bank rather, up until 6:30. I'll send it back to you.
Way to go, Pete Vogel and Vogel Brothers.
Vogel Brothers,
that
great
is amazing.
gesture. So you throw $20 in there,
Yeah.
they'll double it. And so then you're making a $40 donation, 274-4000. You can also make those donations at the grocery stores that we mentioned.
We'll be right back with a final check of the weather. Oh, along with, just kidding, a special look back as we say farewell to a special member of our staff. That's coming up.
Now, meteorologist Karen Swanson from the News 3 Weather Center.
And Karen's back. Final check.
Yep, we've got that high heat and humidity headed our way. Excessive heat warnings and a heat advisory in effect starting tomorrow into the day on Saturday. That's a nice view, though. You might need some cooling off over the next couple of days. This evening, temperatures falling from the 80s down into the middle 70s. By early tomorrow morning, we're at 72 degrees, and that high tomorrow's 96. We are looking at heat index values making it feel more like the hundreds tomorrow. It's going to be a scorcher.
Well, that is a wrap for the weather recap on Live at 4. If you didn't see the top of the show, today is Karen's last day. Now, I'm going to keep it together here.
I can't look at you because I might cry.
It is hard to imagine walking in the newsroom and not seeing this smiling face I have seen every day for 15 years. You launched this show. You, me, and Mark launched Live at 4 together. I know Mark is so disappointed he couldn't be here today. But you want to? Can you tell everybody what you're doing, where you're going?
Yeah, so I took a job with the Clean Lakes Alliance. I'll be doing their marketing and communications. I'll get to do some forecasting for them as well, so I'm not losing my weather completely. I hope you guys will have me back on Live at 4 to talk about the state of the lakes.
Nope, not going to happen. You had your chance. No, I'm kidding.
This is a a good decision for me and also for my family. I'll get to be with them at every night and on weekends, and I think that that's going to be really wonderful.
We're happy for you. We're so proud of you. It takes a lot of courage to leave something you've always known and try something new, but we're going to miss you so much.
It's going to be a big change. I'll miss everyone here. Everyone's just been absolutely wonderful. You know, the viewers have been sending me hundreds of messages over the last few days, and I've been trying to respond to most of them, so I thank you for all being out there for 15 years now. So
yeah, 15 years is a good long run, and we have a few of the magic moments of those 15 years.
Such mushes.
This is Karen Swanson. Oh, good. Oh, she's saying hi.
What you're going to want to do today, right? Some snow angel morning.
It's all right.
You
are.
You're looking great. Yay! I don't know where I go from here. I think I'm kind of stuck.
Oh, my gosh.
What am I doing? Okay.
You look good.
You look great, Karen.
Oh,
She
she's
is.
got it.
Well, she's an alum. She knows how to do this. Karen's going to join us live with the UW crew team at the new Porter Boathouse.
I got some splaining to do.
Why don't you look at your feet? Shut up. Ladies and gentlemen, we've been called to the scene at the Hilton Hotel in downtown Madison on the shores of Lake Minota, where there seems to be some sort of commotion up on the roof of the building.
Okay, I can do this. Someone came to visit.
Karen Swanson just rappelled 12 floors to the ground. No problem.
She is our resident daredevil. Around
She
here.
really
jumps out of airplanes.
She's an adrenaline junkie. Boy, go girl.
Through later tomorrow. Oh, that was a big mouse that just ran through.
And just pop it in. Take a bite.
Sorry.
Hey, I have never been outside on the weather patio when it's been like this. This is just tremendous.
You can hear it. It's just howling.
Just howling out here.
It's also National Hot Fudge Sundae Day.
And we are taking a little road trip because it is National Drive-Through Day.
Hey, look who it is. It's Greg Palmer.
Greg, happy drive-through day.
Thank you, thank you, thank you.
All right. Good afternoon for any activities you may taking care of this afternoon outside. There you go.
And she's gone.
And next is weather.
Did we try to kill you while you worked here? I mean, we're like jumping off buildings.
I had so much fun. You know, I love to try new things, and this has just been such a wonderful way to do so many of those things. I've had just a blast here. So,
Good luck. Good luck. We're gonna miss you.
Thank you.
Of course, you are welcome back anytime.
I might be back in a few weeks, actually filling in when Gary's on vacation. So
Gary doesn't get vacations. What are you talking about?
We love you, Karen. We love you. We'll be right back.